willkommen in DRS. Sobald die Cutscene vorbei ist, könnt ihr euren Max-Trank benutzen, eure Lebensfedern einsetzen und eure ersten 2 Kommandos bitte aktivieren. Und danach gehen wir die Treppe runter und füllen unsere Register wieder an der Kiste unten. Wir gehen nicht auf die leuchtenden Plattformen links und rechts von der Kiste, sondern wir stellen uns allesamt auf den D-Marker, da wir Golems übernehmen. Also Max-Tränke einsetzen, Kommandos aktivieren, Lebensfeder aktivieren, dann das Register auffüllen und dann stellen wir uns auf den D-Marker. So, für diejenigen, die verschollene Exzellenz bereits für den ersten Boss verwenden möchten, ihr könnt Mimic auf Chicha einsetzen. Markiert Chicha mal mit einem Ignore 1 und sich die Kommandos von dort per Mimik holen, per Nachahmung. So. Dann können die Partyleitenden einmal gucken, ob die ausgerüsteten Kommandos soweit passen. Und ob die Max-Tränke aktiv sind, ob die Lebensfedern aktiv sind. Und wenn das so aussieht, bitte einen Ready-Check machen. Wir werden, oder wenn ihr von dem Cache, von der Kiste weggetreten seid, bitte öffnet einmal euer Register, öffnet einmal euer Holster, um zu prüfen, dass ihr auch wirklich alles dabei habt, was ihr braucht. Okay. Ein Game Restart. Könnten die Physical Ranged in den Gruppen bitte einmal ihre Perception, ihre Tigeraugen drücken, dass ich weiß, dass wir eine Handvoll Tigeraugen da unten haben. Wunderbar, dann haben wir mindestens 2. Und wenn wir jetzt noch einen Ready-Check haben könnten, wäre das großartig. Wie sieht Golems 3 aus? Okay. Wenn es irgendwas gibt, womit wir helfen können, was wir erklären können, wo was fehlt, gerne Bescheid geben. Alles gut. Dann warten wir noch einen Moment. Es ist besser, wenn man hier seine Kommandos sortiert und hat, was man braucht, als wenn man später feststellt, dass man nicht hat, was man braucht, weil wir können hierhin nicht mehr zurückkommen. Okay, alle Gruppen sind fertig. Das heißt, wir können die leuchtende Plattform hier vorne nehmen, könnt da drauf treten und dann gehen wir rüber zu Golems. So. Bevor wir jetzt irgendwas tun, werde ich erstmal ein paar Namen nennen und wenn ihr euren Namen hört, geht ihr auf den passenden Marker dazu. Auf dem A-Marker hätte ich gerne mich selbst und jetzt Yoru. Yoru, if you could come to the A-Marker. Thank you. Auf dem B-Marker Venris und Avait. Auf dem C-Marker Liliana, Osman and Helios, if you could go to C as well for the Red Golem. Und auf dem D-Marker Laila und Sanguina. Das sieht gut aus. Sehr schön. Dann haben wir noch die Hallways. So hallways are English speaking, so I'm going to do this in English. On the northern hallway, Naimia and Androck, please. And on the southern hallway, Zeph and Jake. For the hallways, you probably know what you're doing, but there will be ads spawning north and south. You just pick them up and kill them. Healers keep the tanks alive, and that's essentially it for you until we're done. Yeah, and the rest will be in German now, so enjoy. Genau, was wir in den Räumen machen wiederum, das sind die farbigen Golems. Die farbigen Golems müssen auf den Plattformen in der Mitte ihres Raumes sterben, und zwar in der richtigen Farbe. Der Golem auf A wird in den blauen Raum gezogen. So Yoru, you will pull the blue golem to the southwest room. You will be on the blue golem. Da wird es einen Tankbuster geben. Der Tankbuster wird mit der Invuln genommen und anschließend Isunat. Beziehungsweise im Deutschen heißt es Isuna Medica für die Healer. Und alle Casts von Materiewandlung werden an diesem Golem unterbrochen. Den killen wir einfach nur, da passiert nichts Großartiges. Danach nehmen wir uns den grünen Golem. Der grüne Golem ist der auf B startet. Mit dem grünen Golem gehst du in den nordöstlichen Raum und hältst ihn dort auf der Plattform. Auch da alle Casts von Materiewandlung bitte unterbrechen. Und dann killen wir den da auch einfach nur. Mehr passiert da erstmal nicht. Danach gehen wir zu dem Raum, den wir mit C markieren werden. C ist der rote Raum. Da sehen wir, dass der Golem aber momentan in grün startet. Das heißt, wir nehmen diesen Golem, ziehen ihn in den Raum und wenn er den ersten Materiewandlungscast castet, dann lassen wir den durchgehen und werden erst danach anfangen, jeden einzelnen Cast zu unterbrechen. Da ist ganz wichtig bei dem Golem, dass ihr bitte wenn ihr in diesem Raum zugeteilt seid, also Osman und Helios, dass ihr den Golem nicht angreift, bevor der Tank den ersten Hit reinbekommen hat, weil der rote Golem wird sich an den ersten, der ihn berührt, binden und wird auch nicht mehr loslassen. Und das wollen wir nicht, weil der tut ganz schön weh. Das heißt, ganz wichtig, dass Liliana den ersten Hit reinbekommt und danach wird jeder weitere Materiewandlung-Cast von Helios unterbrochen. Helios, I do assume you know what I'm talking about since I assigned you to the marker, but please interrupt the red golem. Und dann der letzte Raum, um den wir uns kümmern werden, ist der Raum D, der im Südosten ist, der weiße Golem. Der weiße Golem startet auf dem D-Marker als blauer Golem, wird auch am Anfang seinen Tankbuster casten. Da bitte eine Invuln benutzen oder alle Mitigations, die du hast. Und dann von dem Heiler. Und dann von dem Heiler bitte mit Medica entfernen. Den ersten Materiewandlungscast lässt du dann durchgehen und danach unterbrichst du jeden weiteren. Der weiße Golem den werden wir auf ungefähr 40% runterbringen, keine Dots benutzen und dann warten wir auf ein Go von Slimes Seite, weil wir die Golems zur gleichen Zeit killen müssen, wie Slimes auch fertig werden. Ja, Ich glaube, das war's soweit für die Golems als solche. Falls ihr eine Frage zu den Golems habt, stellt sie bitte. Das ist kein Thema. Dann haben wir noch die 2 Fallen oder die 3 Fallen. Helios hat schon gescoutet. Wir haben also 2 Fallen in den südlichen Räumen, das heißt Blau und Weiß. Also Alpha und Delta werden eine Falle haben und wir werden eine Falle in der Mitte haben. Helios, since you're going north, could you reveal the trap in the middle, please? That would be awesome. Und dann haben wir noch 2 weitere Fist-Ranged, mindestens. Oui, merci. Solos, wenn du bitte den Raum Delta, den weißen Raum im Südosten, mit Tigeraugen aufdecken könntest oder Perception, je nachdem, gerade in Englisch oder in Deutsch spielst. Du gehst einmal in den Türrahmen, drückst da den Knopf, also drückst einmal Perception, schrägstrich Tigeraugen. Falls du die Falle aufdeckst, ist gut. Falls nicht, gehst du auf die Plattform in der Mitte vom Raum und wirst dann die Falle aufdecken. Und dann müssten wir noch einen weiteren Fist-Ranged haben. Psycho? Psycho, wenn du dasselbe bitte im blauen Raum in A machen könntest, im Südwesten. Nice, sehr gut. Dann müssten wir wirklich alles haben. Dann können wir Ready-Checks überall machen. Wenn es Fragen gibt, Fragen stellen. Dann immer Nein drücken und mich anbrüllen. Tankstance, guter Reminder. Alle Tanks bitte Tankstance an. Sehr gut. Golems ready. Wir werden die Golems dann, also ich werde ansagen, welchen Golem wir als erstes machen. Wir werden in der Reihenfolge Blau, Grün, Rot, Weiß gehen. Es sei denn, es gibt irgendwelche Vorkommnisse. Okay. Countdown incoming. Denkt an die Fallen. 2 traps in the southern rooms. 1 trap in the middle. 2 Fallen in den südlichen Räumen und eine in der Mitte.
Welcher Raum war ich nochmal? Ich habe ein schlechtes Gedächtnis. Solos hier.
Solos, du bist in D, bitte. Also Südosten, weiß. Ich habe vergessen, die Marker zu wechseln. Sorry.
Okay, danke.
Südosten, genau da. Traumhaft, Dankeschön. Und wir fangen mit dem blauen Golem an. Wir hauen ihn einfach nur runter. Alle Fallen sind aufgedeckt. Tankbuster, bitte Invuln und Isuna. Und dann gehen wir zu dem grünen Golem im Nordosten. Sehr gut. Und das können wir dann. Wunderbar. Und den grünen Golem auch einfach runter. Danach gehen wir zu dem roten Golem. Den bringen wir langsam auf 10% runter. Keine Dots bitte. Einfach nur langsam auf 10%. Interrupt. Einfach auf 10% runter. Bringen. Okay. Langsam DPS. Wenn der auf 10% ist, ziehen wir ihn in die Mitte. Okay, stopp. Hier ist in die Mitte und Invuln und Kill. Kill. Wunderbar. Und dann zum letzten Raum. Auch da bitte keine Dots verwenden. Einfach nur schlagen, bis wir auf ungefähr 40% sind. Tanks am Leben halten. Alle Heiler können helfen, den Tank am Leben zu halten. Und stopp. Keine Attacken mehr auf dem Golem, bitte. Wir können die Hallway-Golems ein bisschen töten. Okay, lass den Cast durchgehen. Fangen wir mal von vorne an. Das ist kein Thema. Und Interrupt. Und den weißen Golem bitte wieder auf 40%. Okay, bisschen langsamer werden. Nicht mehr so viele Knöpfe drücken. Stopp, 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 stopp. Bei 30% fängt er an, sich Self-Benediction zu casten. Okay. Wir haben ein Rupture auf der anderen Seite und jetzt können wir den Golem töten. Einfach alles, was ihr habt. Awesome. Und gleich sollten die Golems verschwinden. There we go. Das war's schon. Damit können wir zu Seeker hoch. Zum ersten Boss.
Schön.
Und dann kann der Run so richtig anfangen. Für alle, die jetzt hier sind, aber lieber englische Callouts hätten, mich aber gerade verstehen, können jetzt den Voice Channel wechseln. Es steht euch frei, die englischen Callouts mitzunehmen. For anybody that's in here but does want to hear English callouts, please go to the Slimes Voice Channel. I will continue in German in here, and there will be English callouts.
Okay. We are leveling out. We are leveling out. Double language. We have English and German. All right, fantastic. So, I think we're pretty much leveled out now. If you are new to Deliverum, there are images now in the DRS run chat, and they are Trinity Seeker specific images. Make sure to have a look at those whilst I am explaining. And let's get some general notices out the way. Inside here, you cannot raise with your normal raising methods. So you cannot use your healer raise. It does not work. There are three primary methods to get raised that we use. The first is relying on your... The first is relying on your re-raisers. There is a 70% chance that when you die, your re-raiser will work. And if it doesn't, then healers will begin casting Arise on you. And Arise only works in here with a healer Pure Essence of the Divine and has approximately a 10% chance of working. So, if you have somebody dead in your party and you want to get them up, please continue casting Arise on them constantly. And the third method to get people up is Healer Limit Break 3. Healer Limit Break 3 is a guaranteed way to get people up if they're in range. So nobody else should be using the Limit Break 3. And please only use the Healer Limit Break 3 when I call for it. If you use it early, you could blind me as the host, which means that I will not be able to see the mechanics and we will all die anyway. Next announcement is tank stances off, please. I want everybody to turn their tank stance off. That is not me. I will be the main tank for this run. I have the Danger Dorito above my head. And pretty much at all times, you want to be away from me because I will be taking tank busters. Okay. And the next thing, if you are physical ranged, basically you had Lost Font of Power and you also had Lost Perception at the start. You can now equip your Lost Font of Power and Lost Dervish. Okay, those are the two actions that you want as a physical ranged. So please make sure to swap out. Yes, you are first Ren Bane. So Bane, you will use Ren first and then on cooldown. As for other actions, you want to use your Lost Font of Power and Lost Font of Magic as soon as they come off cooldown. They increase damage exponentially. If you have a banner, you want to pair it with your Lost Font of Power. So the banner will come up first, wait for it, and then pair it with your Lost Font of Power. If you are a ranged DPS, use Dervish as quickly and as soon as it comes off cooldown. And casters, if you are Cure 4, please use Cure 4 at least once every 60 seconds. It gives a 1 minute bravery buff to your party. If you've not seen this before, please do one cast now so that you can see how it looks in your party. It's very useful to see what the bravery buff looks like. And the Cure Fort can also be used for healing, so feel free to use it during raid wides. It will massively help your healers out. Okay, now let's talk a little bit about Trinity Seeker, and I'll explain what's going to happen here. So Trinity Seeker is similar to normal mode, faster, hits harder, and has a few extra mechanics. Okay, the first thing we're going to talk about is how I call the sword mechanic. The boss will again cleave 4 parts of the arena in sequence. I'll call out which side is safe. The call out that I make is room relative. If I call left, left, right, right, it's the left hand side of the room close to Seeker for 2 hits, and then the right hand side of the room close to Seeker for 2 hits. I may also call something like left, north, north, right. That would be left of the room close to Seeker for 1 hit, north for 2 hits, and then right for 1 hit. So I'll be using left, right, north, and south. Okay? And that's for swords. There is Seasons of Mercy, and there's 3 parts to Seasons of Mercy. The first thing you need to do is look away from the white orb. You also need to move away from the pink flower, it will double in size. And also dodge the crisscross grids that happen twice. Okay? Look away from the orb, get away from the flower, dodge the ice grid. Okay, that will happen multiple times throughout this fight. Tank busters in this fight will be taken by me and only me. Please do not stand on me when a tank buster is going out. You may kill me and everybody else in the raid if that happens. There is a knockback and hide mechanic. If it's knockback, you can stand on the numbers and get knocked into one of the barriers. If it's hide behind the barriers, you can hide behind the barriers on one of the letter markers. I may call out one specifically. Sand or stone is another mechanic we'll see. And there are rings on the arena. You can see the light rings and also the blue rings. These are sand or stone. If I call out everybody stand on sand, then please stand on one of the sand light rings that you can currently see me jumping on. If I call out stone, please stand on one of the darker stone rings. This later on is paired with Earthshakers. If you get an Earthshaker, move away from the group. Do not overlap it with another person. And also respect the sand or stone mechanic. You can see what the Earthshaker looks like in the DRS run chat. Everything else will be pretty much called out as and when it happens. We can do ready checks and wait for the German explanations. All right. Make sure to move your characters as well. If it wasn't noted before, there is an invisible 10-minute kick timer in this instance, and you will get removed from the instance if you don't move. It's also worth noting that food here is quite good. Oh yeah, chain order. Let me quickly find out how many scholars we have. Oh, we actually have a few. Kaori, Scars, Hichu, I think. And yes, please eat food. Okay, Golems 1, 2, and 3 is ready. Slimes 3 is ready. Slimes 1 is ready.
Could you explain Lost Dervish again?
Yes. So Lost Dervish is this action. You want to use it as soon as we start the fight. And every time that it becomes available after that, please press it. So every time it's available, press Lost Dervish. It is a 90-second cooldown. Makes your party go super fast and do more crits. Let me know if that was helpful. And if we need to do another ready check in Slimes 2, please do so. There we go. Okay. All right, and we are now going to start the countdown. As soon as I find the right macro. There we go. 30 seconds. Make sure your tank stances are turned off. You do not need tank stance. We've got 10 seconds. Casters, please use Cure 4 now. Use Cure 4 on your party now. 2, 1, and let's go. All right. Okay, first up will be a raid wide. And then we will see swords. I'll call that the safe spot for swords, room relative. Please be a good pattern. No, okay, we start on the right. Right, left, left, right. Right, left for 2 hits, and then right. Stay here for 1 hit, move left. Stay for 2. And move right. Look away from the orb. Get away from the flower. Okay, make sure you're behind the boss. Behind the boss. Behind the boss. Don't be on his sides. And make sure you stay behind the boss. There is a tank buster coming out now. And another tank buster is coming out, so please stay behind the boss. If you do have any dead, feel free to use Lost Arise on them. Alright, the boss will move back into the middle shortly. And it will be a knockback mechanic. Get rid of these breaky chains. Break your chains now by moving apart. And stand on the numbers. Knock back into the wall. Knock back into the wall. The numbers are safe. Get nice and close to the boss. We're going to be dodging the clones. Okay, we start at 1. Start at 1, and then we hide behind 2 at Bravo. Behind the barrier at Bravo. Behind the barrier at Bravo. Okay, back on the boss. Everybody stack up on the triangle. Stack up on the triangle. Alright. Next we will see sand or stone. We're going for big skip here as well. For that, we're going to dodge the line AoEs on the floor. And then we stand on sand. Everybody stand on sand. We're going for big skip here. Everybody stand on sand. Number 4 is safe. Number 2 is safe. Intercardinal from the boss. Number 4 and 2 are safe. Intercardinal. Alright. Okay, boss is back in the middle. Stay nice and close to the boss. We'll see some more clones dropping down. Alright, we're starting on the right hand side near 3. We're going counterclockwise this time. Okay, left, south, south, right. Start on the left between 1 and 4. Left, south, south, right. Move south. Stay. Move right. Look away from the orb. And get away from the flower. If you have any dead, please raise them. Stack up for your chains. And move apart to break them. Move apart to break your chains. Raid wide. If there's any dead on the floor, please use Lost Arise to pick them up. You can target people outside of your party. All right, swords next. These swords are combined with sand or stone. Okay. Okay, we start on the left-hand side. Left, north, north, right. Stand on stone. Left, north, north, right. Stand on stone. The middle is stone. Move north. Move right and stand on sand. And the bonus round is everybody stand on sand, everybody stand on sand. We're going to be looking away from the orb. Move away from the flower. Dodge the ice grid. And dodge the AoEs. Alright, we're going to go back into the middle. There'll be a raid wide. If you have any dead, please res them. If you don't, please target the people outside your party and res them with a rise. Alright, inside the boss's hitbox and behind him. Inside the boss's hitbox and behind him. We're doing great, we're getting everybody up. Fantastic. And we are done. We are done, we are done. There are traps ahead, there are traps ahead. Please do not go ahead. Pick up your loot, pick up your loot. And do not go ahead, please. There are traps ahead. We want to make sure that we find all 6 traps before anybody goes ahead. Our duelist will happily find these traps for us. And once they do, we'll be following the ABC markers. Okay, there's one already. Please let them find all 6 traps. And yes, if you died, please pop a new re-raiser. Otherwise, you will not res. If you are in the duelist party, I don't think there's a huge amount here, but if you are in the duelist party, please stick close to Muffler. But they are already there. Perfect. Okay, we are going to head to Dahu then. Make sure to dodge all 6 traps. And then please head to Dahu. I'll do some brief explanations. We'll wait for Muffler to pull. And then after that, we will get going. Right. we go. The duelist was a success. Well done, Muffler. You can use Cure 4 now. And let's go. To be honest, I should have knew what help Panzer meant. We use both of those words. Dodge orange, dodge orange. Keep dodging orange, keep dodging orange. Alright, get away from his face, get away from his face. We're going south. Keep away from his face still. Keep away from his face. Dodge the big pizza cleave. And then after this, I'll pull Dahu back into the middle. DPS is very much big today. I'm happy. Alright, there'll be more orange to dodge now. Keep dodging orange, keep dodging orange. Okay, and numbers are out. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. If you can't get to your number, go to any lion. But we did fantastic. We're going to dodge the big slappy, dodge it, and then move right now. Move right, move right. And then we're going to knock back to any safe spot. Any of the numbers are safe. Gamers. Get behind Dahu. Get behind Dahu. We're going to follow him around for 5 fire cleaves. Alright, and you are safe on the left-hand side. Next, we'll see some ads. Do not worry about the ads. Just burn down Dahu. Keep me alive, though, please, healers. I will be using mitigation and then invuln if it's needed. But I don't think we'll even get close to them. And we're done. Perfect. All right. Pick up your personal spoils. And then we will head to Queensguard. Yeah, I should have known what Haupt Panzer meant. We use Haupt in our registers, our holsters for German. And Panzer obviously means tank. That is also written in our holsters, so maybe I'll learn some more German words today. Alright, Duelist has picked up the buff, and they are joining us. And I will now run the DRS run chat commands. Somebody already beat me to it. Awesome. Perfect. All right. So the first thing that we are going to do here is make sure that healers have talked to their co-healers and also know which reflect orb they are reflecting. So for instance, if you are in Slimes 1, you'll be looking for the S1 orbs in the image that was just posted in DRS run chat. Okay? And talk to your co-healer to figure out which one you are taking. I'll explain that and how that works a bit later. Okay. I am also looking for a co-tank. And we'll figure out who that is. Basically, there are 2 mobs on screen at a time here. And we want to make sure that they are both tanked and kept far away. We do rend here, I'll explain that as well. I'll carry on with explanations for now until we find a co-tank. So with rend, when we pull the boss, rend 1, you can render all 4 targets because they are within close proximity. And then Bane, you can rend the knight and the soldier. And Radas will be rending the warrior and the gunner. Perfect. All right. So let's talk about Queensguard. Very different from normal mode, but all of the mechanics are theoretically have been seen, but they are much bigger here. When we pull the bosses, we'll have all 4 of them. And then when they respawn, they will be 2 by 2. Okay? The 2 that spawn need to be kept away from each other at all times. The first ones we'll see are the warrior and the knight. The warrior will go to the right-hand side, and the knight will go into the middle. Okay? Now, when this happens, we need to make sure that we keep our HP close to each other. So, within a few percentage points. If we kill one before the other one will begin casting a Enrage. Okay? The first mechanic we will actually see with these guys is the Spellforge and the Steel Sting. One healer in your party should have Spellforge, and one healer should have Steel Sting. Okay? When we are doing the countdown, you can apply Spellforge to all of the physical people in your party, the tanks, the melees, the physical ranged. And when we are doing the countdown, you can apply Steel Sting to all the magical folk, your healers, your casters, your summoners, black mages, etc. The bosses will then make themselves immune to one type of damage, and I'll tell you which buff you need to apply to everybody in your party. Okay? So, what you'll want to do, if I call out apply Steel Sting, the healer that has Steel Sting, give it to everybody in your party. Okay? If it's Spellforge, then I'll call that Spellforge. Please give Spellforge to everybody in your party. Alright, after that we'll see bombs. There are 2 types of bombs. There are knockback bombs and there are bombs on the edge. If it's bombs on the edge, we'll be taking one of the 2 bombs on the edge of the arena. If it's knockback bombs, we'll be knocking back from A, B, C, or D towards the edge. And then we'll be taking the appropriate bomb on the edge. Now, when I say the appropriate bomb, there are large bombs and small bombs. I will make a call out. And the call out will be something like, if you were tethered or have a debuff, go to a large bomb. Okay? So you need to check if you have the scales debuff and if you were tethered before. If you were tethered, you will have the debuff. And then you will take a large bomb. I may also call out, if you were tethered, take a small bomb. If you weren't tethered, do the opposite of what I say. So if I call out, if you were tethered, take a small bomb, and you weren't, you take one of the large bombs. Okay? Again, it'll either be knockback or bombs on the edge. I'll call out which one that is. We'll see a boost appear on the warrior afterwards, and we did assign a dispel. The dispel for this fight is Hitchu. So I'll just double confirm with her that she's good with that. I think she is though, so that won't be an issue. Okay, that is when the warrior begins casting boost. It will require a dispel. After that, we will see the wind puddles. If you get a tether, you'll go to a wind puddle. If you didn't get a tether, you'll go to a lightning puddle. We'll activate sprint, and then sprint to the middle of the arena towards the knight. There will be an in or out mechanic, but only one side is safe. I'll call out which side is safe, and you can follow the number 1 above my head to make sure you're in a safe position. Okay. Once the warrior and the knight are dead, the gunner and the soldier will spawn. I'll take the gunner into the middle, and the soldier will be taken to the edge of the arena. And the first mechanic we'll see is Fire Frogs. Make sure you move your characters so that you don't get kicked from the instance. There we go. Perfect. All right. So we'll see Fire Frogs. Fire Frogs will create a single safe spot for us to stand in. At this time, you'll also get a yellow marker underneath your feet with an open side. Point the open side to the gunner in the middle. The gunner will do his AoE, and because you pointed your open side to him, you'll be safe. After that, you need to point your open side to a turret on the edge of the arena with an arrow facing you. Okay? So point your empty side to the gunner in the middle, and then afterwards to a turret on the side of the arena. Alright. After that, we'll see some turrets spawn. Turrets will spawn on D and B. The turrets need to be burnt down. They do have an enrage cast that will kill everybody if we don't burn them down quickly enough. We'll see fire or ice. Ice means you keep moving. Make sure you keep moving at all costs, otherwise you will be frozen and die. And for fire, stop moving, stop casting, take your hands off your keyboard. Any action will instantly pretty much kill you. Once the knight and the gunner are dead, we'll move into the final phase, which is the reflect orbs, aura spheres, and the wards. The first thing that needs to happen is the healers will need to go to their reflect positions. Please, healers, make sure you've had the discussion in your party, and that you know which one you are reflecting. Now, the reflect orbs will appear. They're called spiritual spheres. When they appear, go and stand on them. Activate a light curtain from your holster and do no other action until the sphere has disappeared. The light curtain, using it from your holster, consumes 1 GCD. It will give you a reflect. You'll reflect the damage back at the spiritual sphere, and then you'll kill it. There are 2 rounds of spiritual spheres. I'll tell you when they're going to happen during the callouts. As well as the spiritual spheres, there will be aura spheres on the north and south of the arena, only 2 of them. These aura spheres need to be picked up by a tank, by using provoke, and then all of the DPS need to kill the aura spheres. If you don't kill the aura spheres, they will go around randomly targeting people and randomly killing people. Okay? Tanks, if you have aggro on an aura sphere when it dies, you'll get a red dot above your head. Please use your invulnerability skill to make sure that you don't die. And healers, please make sure to heal your tanks. Avate is going to do South 1. Do we have a volunteer for North 1 who could take the North 1 Aura Sphere? You just need to pop your tank stance on, provoke, and then invuln when you get the red icon. Single target. It is a single target red dot. Thank you, Lena. Alright, we'll see 2 rounds of spiritual spheres, 2 rounds of aura spheres. When there are no spheres on the arena, you can attack the 4 wards. The 4 wards will spawn at 1, 2, 3, and 4, and they will have shielded sides. Please only attack on the open side. If you attack on a shielded side, you'll get knocked back and stunned, and you may also get knocked back into the wall, which will kill you instantly. So please only attack on the open side. That means no assizes and no huge dances, please. All right, that was a lot of explanations, and they are relevant. If you have any questions, please hit no on ready checks. Let's do ready checks. And you can also eat food. All right. Okay, Slimes 1, Slimes 2 is ready. Don't worry, the mechanics will be called out. Food check, absolutely perfect. Make sure to definitely use food. 48 people using food is a massive stat increase here. Absolutely gigantic. When we do pull the mobs, all 4 of them will be on screen, so you can use AoE burst. Okay, Golems 3 is ready. We're just waiting for Slimes 3, and then we'll get going. The chains, you can spread them out, but the warrior and the knight are prime targets. Apparently we're linking all our potions. And our food. Okay, could we do another ready check in all groups, please? It's been a little while. Okay, Slimes 1, 2, and 3 is ready. Golems 1 is ready. Golems 3 is ready. And Golems 2 is ready. Perfect. Alright, let's go. Countdown is started. Steel Sting and Spellforge can go out now, please. Steel Sting to Magicals, Spellforge to Physicals. Casters, please use Cure 4. Give everybody in your party a Bravery. And if somebody could give Helios Spellforge, that would be great. 3, 2, 1, let's go. Alright, first up will be a raid wide. And here it comes. And we won't see the second raid wide. Alright, the warrior will go to the side, and then afterwards the knight will go to the middle. Apply Steel Sting to everybody. Steel Sting to everybody. Apply Steel Sting to everybody. Alright. Next we'll have the bombs mechanic. Alright, it's going to be knockback bombs from the middle. If you are tethered, you are knocking back to a small bomb. Tethered, knock back to a small bomb. We're going to knock back towards 3 or Bravo. Tethered, knock back to a small bomb. If you fall down first, move to an old explosion now. And let's carry on. If you've got any dead, please raise them. And we're going to get a Dispel on the warrior. And Dispel, Dispel. We're done. And there will be a raid wide. Okay, awesome. Next thing we'll see is the wind and lightning puddles. You'll need to check if you receive a tether. Alright, check if you have a tether. Check if you have a tether. If you do, you'll be going to wind. Tethers and debuffs go to wind. Everybody else lightning. And activate sprint. Activate sprint towards the knights. We're going in the hitbox towards the right hand side. Close, close, close. And a Dispel on the warrior, please. We want more DPS on the warrior. Raid wide. Tank busters coming out. Make sure to keep your tanks nice and healthy. And you can split DPS. Kill the knight first, please. Kill the knight. No more attacking the warrior. Pick off Steel Sting. And kill the warrior. Great job. Perfect timing. Okay. The soldier will be taken to the side. And then the knight will go into the middle. Sorry, the gunner will go into the middle. Okay, Fire Frogs is up first. We're going to be following the small Fire Orcs. I'll call that the safe spot using the markers. Safe spot is north on A. Safe spot is north on A. Open side to the gunner in the middle. Open side to the gunner in the middle, please. And now open side to a turret on the side. Alright, back on the bus. If you've got any dead, please raise them. And a tank buster, sorry. Really late. Raid wide. Make sure you're keeping Cure for Bravery on your whole party, please. Make sure to refresh it. Alright, the turrets are coming up next. You can hold your DPS for the turrets. They'll be spawning on B and D. You can focus on D for Delta first. Okay, turrets are now spawning. Focus on the one on Delta first. If you need to invuln, please do so. Alright, and raid wide. Raid wide. DPS is good. This is going to be fire or ice. It's ice. Keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep moving, keep going. A little bit more, and we're done. You can stop now. We're going to kill the soldier first, please. Healers, you can go to your reflect positions already. Healers, go to your reflect positions. I'll call out when you can use your light curtain. And north 1, south 1 tanks. Get ready to pick up the Auraspheres with tank stance. Everybody kill the Auraspheres. Healers, use your light curtains now. Light curtains now. Only attack the wards on the open side. Only attack them on the open side, please. There will be a second round of spheres. Healers, you can go to your positions. Stop attacking the wards. Stop attacking the wards. Only attack on the open side. Healers, wait for your spiritual spheres. Use your light curtains now. All tanks, tank stance is on. Pick up the Auraspheres. DPS, kill the Auraspheres. Kill the Auraspheres. Wonderful. And kill the last ward. Alright, we do have a few casualties, so please make sure to pick up the casualties. You can use a rise on them to get them up. Again, it's only a 10% chance, so please continue using it. And if you did die, please use a re-raiser. Re-raisers are important for the whole of this instance. We'll now continue to Phantom. Healers, you can now slot away your Spellforge and Steel Sting. Please slot in Lost Banish. We will need Lost Banish for the next fight. So you'll want a Rise and Lost Banish, please. Indeed, thank you, Muffler. We get extra loot because of Muffler. Okay. And first things first, all tanks, you can now turn off your tank stance. Please turn off your tank stance. Very important that you do so. And here we are at Boston Phantom. Boston Phantom is weak to Banish. So healers, you should all have Lost Banish equipped with Lost Arise. Very few exceptions. Veterans are pretty much accept. But if you're an Uber healer, please make sure you have Lost Arise and Lost Banish. We want to, as soon as we pull the boss, apply Banish. And make sure it's refreshed at least once every minute so that he is super squishy and that we can kill him. Unlike in normal mode, you cannot cheese the mechanics in this fight. You cannot hide in a corner away from the big donuts. What will happen when we pull the boss? He will basically do a raid wide. And then after that, we will go to either Alpha or Delta. We'll follow the donut down from the north to the south of the arena, and we'll do a bit of dancing between the numbered waymarks on the south. Okay, we'll be going back and forth between the numbers that I call out. You can use one charge of your actions here, that's perfectly fine. If we happen to see the ads, you want to make sure that you heal the white ads and damage the red ads. Heal the white, damage the reds. But I don't think we'll see the ads. DPS is fairly exceptional. All right. Let's do ready checks. Ooh, numb leg. Hello, I've been sat on my leg. In terms of me mentioning numb leg, it's very important. We will take a comfort break after this boss. Comfort break for somewhere between 5 and 10 minutes. Make sure everybody's hydrated, stretches their legs. Very important that we do that. Okay, Golems 1, 2, and 3 is ready. Slimes 1 is ready, and Slimes 2 is ready. Okay, and we're going to go. Let's go. Countdown is starting now in Yelp chat. Make sure your tank stances are turned off. All right, Cure 4 casters, you can use Cure 4 now. Give everybody a bravery. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. All right, raid wide, the one and only. And after this, we'll be going to either Alpha or Delta. You can already take bets on which one. Probably going to be Alpha. It's Alpha. Okay, we're going to Alpha. Everybody can stand on the Alpha marker. A donut will soon appear. We follow the donut down towards the number 1. Follow the donut, no greeting. Once you reach the number 1 marker, you can stop moving. You don't need to go any further than number 1. And we move to number 2 now. Move to number 2. You want to build in job gauge. Do not spend your job gauge. We want to build it for a big pull on Trinity Avowed. We can move back to 1. Don't spend your job gauge. Please only build it. We're going to stay at 1 for 3 hits. But we won't even see the 3 hits, so it doesn't matter. Perfect. Alright, there are traps ahead. There are traps ahead. There are traps ahead. Once you pick up your chest and you are by the doorway, please do not go any further than the doorway. The people that are going further know what they should be doing. You want to go straight to the middle, and there's the first one. And the second one, please, in the doorway. There are 2 traps here. Dodge the traps. If you don't see any traps, you need to stop moving. Keep dodging the traps. When we go downstairs, there are 4 more traps. 4 more traps downstairs. Please do not pass the doorway unless you see the trap. We're going to go around the traps. And there are 4 traps in total downstairs. Do not touch any of the traps. Do not touch any of the traps. Wonderful. Okay, make your way safely around the traps. We'll go to the Trinity Avowed Arena. I'll drop the markers for Trinity Avowed, and then we are now taking a break. Break until 21 minutes past, please. So go and stretch your legs, grab a drink, and when you come back, we'll do a ready check at 21 minutes past the hour. Thank you. All right, the voice from beyond has returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you. We do have physical excellence up on Filianor. So those that have bought mimics and our physical job, you can grab that off Filianor now. And let's do ready checks to wake people up. Okay. So there should be ready checks going out. Make sure you tab in and hit yes. It does reset the AFK timer as well. All right, Slimes 1 is awake, Slimes 3 is awake, Dolums 1, 2, and 3 is awake. Slimes 2, did I miss Slimes 2? I don't think I did. If Cheche is not back and you haven't seen them already, check, just fire one in your group, please. There we go, all done. Okay, perfect. So this is for explanations. So in the DRS run chat now, you can see some images that relate to Trinity Avowed. It's useful to have them on your screen whilst I'm doing explanations. If you want Shell, please go and stand on the Charlie marker behind you. So if you want Shell, please go stand on Charlie. If you're a newbie, I highly recommend picking up Shell. This fight hurts a lot, okay? This fight hurts a lot. Okay, now, first thing I'm going to mention here is that the raid wides here are very dangerous. The raid wides hit for a lot of damage, and they also have a significant bleed that is applied to your party. This is why Shell is useful. The second thing that is very useful and pretty much mandatory for this fight is a Lost Ether Shield. If you are a newbie tank in your group, please equip Lost Ether Shield now. You want Lost Font of Power and Lost Ether Shield, okay? Party leaders, please make sure that you have a tank, at least one tank with Lost Ether Shield in your group, okay? The raid wide here is called Glory of Bozja. And we want to make sure that every time she casts Glory of Bozja, the tank that has Ether Shield, please uses it on your whole party. It's just one button, you don't need to apply it one by one to everybody. And that will protect people from the big damage and also the big bleed. Every time there is a raid wide, Cure 4 casters, I would also like you to use Cure 4 to heal up your party. Cure 4 is the single most potent heal that is in any of the parties, okay? So every time she uses Glory of Bozja, once it hits, please use Cure 4 immediately. Alright. The tank buster in this fight is shared, and that is called Wrath of Bozja. Okay? If I say tanks in front, please go in front of the boss and use your light cooldowns so that we can share the tank buster damage. Alright. Now, let's talk about this fight. This fight has a lot of personal responsibility. It requires you to constantly look at your debuffs and make sure that you know what to do with those debuffs. The gimmick mechanic for this fight is called Hot and Cold. The boss will cast Hot and Cold, and she will give you one of 4 elements. She will give you either Cold 2, Cold 1, Hot 1, or Hot 2. The objective is then to neutralize that temperature by getting hit by a mechanic that gives you the opposite temperature. If she gives you a Hot 2 debuff, for instance, to neutralize it, you would need to get hit by a Cold 2 debuff. Sounds simple, but there's a lot going on during each of the mechanics. She also has 3 weapons. I'll now explain what those weapons do and what you do during those weapons, but the order is completely random. The first weapon I'll explain is Staff. The first thing you need to do is get away from the boss. Staff is a point-blank AoE, and there is no melee uptime. Move away from the boss, wait till the AoE disappears, and then you can move back close to her. She'll give you a hot and cold, and then she will also give you a Force March. Force March gives you a direction that points, and Force March takes you 2 tiles. Okay? You need to look at which direction it's pointing and which direction you are facing, and it will take you 2 tiles in the direction it's facing. You can see where I am with the triangle above my head. If I was facing forward and I had an arrow pointing to the left, it would take me 2 tiles across the arena to the left. Okay? So it would take me all the way here. Okay, now back to the mechanic. You have hot and cold, and you have a Force March. We will be in the middle of the arena, and she will summon some meteors on each corner of the arena. You need to Force March to the meteor that resolves your hot and cold. So if you have a cold 1, you need to Force March to a hot 1 meteor. That will resolve the mechanic. There will be a raid wide with ether shields, and then we move on to the next weapon. The next weapon I'll explain is Sword. For Sword, the first thing you want to do is be in front of her. She cleaves behind her and to her sides. So sword in front, sword in front. She will then give you a hot and cold. You need to look at what you need to get hit by to neutralize that hot and cold, and remember it. She'll move between 2 and 3, and very soon afterwards disappear. After that, she'll summon 4 clones, each with swords, and they appear around the number markers. I'll call out the number marker that will not get hit by any of the swords. This number will not get hit by any swords at all. What I recommend doing is going to the number marker that is safe, looking around, and finding the sword that you need to get hit by to resolve your hot and cold. There's some simple rules. The first one is that to go to the correct sword, it's always in a cardinal direction from the safe spot. If 4 is the safe spot, then you need to get hit by one of the swords either on D, 1, 3, or south of 4. If you go and stand on the 2 marker, you will die because you will get hit by 2 swords. Okay? So listen for the safe spot, go 1 cardinal direction towards the sword that you need to get hit by. If you can't do it on the first try, stay inside of the safe spot. There will be a second go at trying to get the sword mechanic afterwards. After that, there'll be a raid wide, again with ether shields up. And now I'll explain bow. First thing you'll do is get behind the boss. It's bow behind. She cleaves her front and her sides. There'll be a small tank buster, so I'll have all tanks in front. And then she will give you a forced march. We'll start in the middle of the arena, and then we'll force march to either Bravo or Delta away from the fire that spawns. She'll give you a hot and cold. Look at your hot and cold, figure out what you need to get hit by to neutralize it, and then look to the opposite side of the arena. 4/5 of the arena will be covered in flames, and the part that we are standing on won't be. On the other side of the arena, she'll summon 4 arrows. Each of these arrows have a temperature, and they spawn the ladder minigame that you've seen in normal version. The ladder will now not glow when an arrow is going to go down it. You need to find the arrow you need to get hit by, and manually follow it down the ladder game. The arrow will take every turn that it finds on the ladder game. You need to then move to where that arrow lands and stand there and wait for it to hit you. After that, again, we will see another raid wide with ether shields up. And once we've seen all 3 weapons, we will go into phase 2. Make sure to move your characters. You don't want to get AFK kicked at this point. We are very close to the end. Okay. Now, for phase 2, you'll get your hot and cold as normal for each of the weapons. Ziland, you're on the English side. Okay, cool. Let me explain that. So, for the swords, she'll give you a hot and cold, and then she will disappear. The 4 clones will appear, and each of them will have a sword. Okay? I'll call out one area, one of the numbered markers, that will never get hit by a sword. Okay? That will be safe from being hit. So you can go and stand in that and make sure that you don't get hit. What I would do then is look around that safe marker. and look for the clone that has the sword that neutralizes your hot and cold. So if you've got hot 1 and 4 is the safe spot, go to the number 4, look around, and find the sword that is cold 1. Move 1 tile towards that cold 1 sword. You'll get hit by it, and that should resolve the mechanic. Yes, you'll never want to be diagonal. Always 1 tile away in a cardinal direction, north, east, south, or west. There is also an image in DRS run chat. It's called Trinity Avowed Sword, and that shows what the mechanic looks like. Okay, now for phase 2, you'll get a hot and cold and also an elemental brand. Your elemental brand needs to be the opposite of your hot and cold at the end of the mechanic. So if she gives you a hot and cold of hot 2 and a elemental brand of cold 1, you need to turn your cold 1 into cold 2. Okay? You need to make sure your elemental brand is the opposite of your hot and cold at the end of the mechanic, because they will neutralize each other out. Now, I'll explain the differences between the weapons. For the staff phase, you won't get a force march anymore, so you won't force march to a corner. You'll need to manually move to a corner, and only 1 tile in each corner will be safe for staff. If you see lots of people jumping on a single tile, please follow them, they are probably correct. The reason only 1 tile is safe is there will be lines from the clones that appear on the north and the east of the arena. For the sword, it's pretty much the same, apart from you may need to get hit twice, but don't get hit twice at the same time. There's 2 opportunities to get hit by the swords. The reason you may need to get hit twice is she can give you a hot and cold of hot 2 and an elemental brand of hot 1. So in order to make sure you neutralize that, you will need to get hit by a cold 2 sword and then a cold 1 sword afterwards. And then for bow behind, there is quite a lot different. What will happen is we will no longer force march towards Bravo or Delta. There will be some clones that spawn and only make certain tiles safe. You'll activate sprint and then sprint to the side away from the flame that appears. You'll get your hot and cold and your elemental brand. Figure out what you need to get hit by to make sure your elemental brand neutralizes your hot and cold. And then find the arrows on the other side. You'll also get a forced march. Forced march will again take you 2 tiles. So what you need to do is find the arrow you need to get hit by and see where it lands, and then be 2 tiles away from it. Point your force march where it's going to land. You'll force march to that tile, get hit by the correct arrow, and resolve the mechanic. Very important that you're 2 tiles away on the second bow. I know that was a ton of information to take in. It is quite overwhelming, but the gimmick here is hot and cold. Hopefully what you've realized by now is that you need to neutralize your hot and cold in the first 3 weapons. And you need to make sure that your elemental brand is the opposite of your hot and cold in the second set of 3 weapons. Now's a great time to refresh food. Let's do ready checks. If you have any questions, please hit no on the ready checks. Very important that we get them answered. Right. Okay, so the German explanations will take a little bit extra. There's some questions and some deeper explanations. So make sure that you've moved your character and you're nice and safe. And we'll wait a few moments. And once the German explanations have finished, we will do another round of ready checks afterwards. Very cool. Very good call from Seiko Faust. Food massively helps here. Okay, I do believe German ready checks are going out. Yep. So let's do some more ready checks here. Make sure everybody's super awake. Okay, Slimes 2, Slimes 3, Slimes 1, super awake. Golems 1, Golems 2, Golems 3. If you need physical excellence, Filianor is on the right-hand side of the arena. Please get it now. All right. Cure 4 casters, please use Cure 4 now. Give everybody in your party a bravery. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let's go. All right. Perfect. Tank Buster is up first. Tanks in front with light cooldowns. And then after this, we will see a raid wide, so you can put Ether Shields up now. Ether Shields up now. Ether Shields. Cure 4 casters, use Cure 4, heal your party. And it's bow behind first, blessed be. Bow behind, bow behind. Now you should all be able to go in front of the boss. And it's sword in front, sword in front. And staff away, staff away. Move away from the boss, move away from the boss. Hey, you can get nice and close again. We'll be going into the middle of the arena. Look at your hot and cold. Figure out what you need to get hit by. And now look at your force march. It takes you 2 tiles. We will be force marching from the middle of the arena towards the meteor that resolves your hot and cold. Force march to the meteor that resolves your hot and cold. Force march to the meteor that resolves your hot and cold. Alright, back on the boss. Use Cure 4 to heal up and Ether Shields up. Ether Shields up. You can use Cure 4 again to heal your party, and we will be going south. Bow behind is next. Bow behind is next. Bow behind the boss. Bow behind the boss. Again, we're going to have tanks in front, please, with light cooldowns. Before that, she's going to give you a quick march. Remember, it takes you 2 tiles. We will be quick marching away from the fire towards either Bravo or Delta. We're quick marching towards Bravo. Quick march to Bravo. If somebody dies in the flames, you can rescue them out if they raise. Alright, look at your hot and cold. Figure out what you need to get hit by to resolve it. On the other side of the arena, the arrows are spawning. Manually follow them down the ladder game. Manually follow them down the ladder game. And move to where they land. Alright. Heal up. Ether shields up in every party. And use Cure 4 to heal your party, please. Cure 4 to heal your party. If you have any dead, please raise them. And next we will have Sword in front. Sword in front of the boss. Don't be on her side or behind her. Sword in front. Okay, she's going to move between 3 and 2. She will disappear soon. Look at your hot and cold. Figure out what you need to get hit by to resolve it. She's going to disappear. And I'll call that the safe spot. The safe spot is number 4. The first safe spot is number 4. If you can't resolve it, stay in 4. Okay, and now I'll call that the second safe spot. The second safe spot is number 2. The second safe spot is number 2. 4 is instant death. Don't be standing near 4, please. Alright, back on the boss. Ether shields up. Ether shields up. Okay, and we're going to have staff away again. Staff away from the boss. Away from the boss. Move away. Alright, nice and close to the boss. In the middle, she's going to give you a hot and cold. Are we going to skip second weapons? I think we are. She's going to give you an elemental brand. Figure out what you need to get hit by to make sure that they cancel each other out. But we're done. Okay, wow, okay, that was super fast. Alright, please don't go ahead. There are traps that we need to deal with. And I'm going to drop the markers. That was weird. Okay, so if you've never completed this fight before, please pick up your loot and then come towards the Dorito and the plus icon on the south of the arena. We will be taking a trap together for some fun, and also because it's mandatory to clear the raid. So if you've not cleared this fight before, please come to the south of the arena. All right. Perfect. All right, let's follow the plus marker. Okay, and we're going to get very, very, very close to the pink marker, but we're not going to step into it yet. Yeah, we're all joining a cult. It is some initiation. Okay, so you want to get very, very close. As close as I am. You can see how close I am. You want to be this close. In full love. Okay, cool. And yeah, goodbye world. Okay, so you'll notice that some of you are now mini. Yeah, so this is needed. Being mini is a requirement to complete this raid, because on the other end of this arena there is a gate in front of a statue, and we need one mini person to walk through that gate and step on an invisible trap that opens up the gate for everybody else. The first mini person to reach the gate and step through will be able to activate the trap for us. Only the first person. Fun fact, Lalafals are the tallest race that get mini inside here. So if you walked through, please carry on. Walk towards the cat. There we go. Yeah, Lalafals are the tallest race when you get minis in here. And there are traps. 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 Please, please, please do not pass the A-way marker, which just got overwritten. Do not pass the A-way marker unless you have perception. If somebody has no or very, very low dervish casts, please equip a perception here and use it on the A marker. Perfect. And 2 of the traps here have been found, so please dodge around them. There is one more trap. Do not pass the triangle marker. Do not pass the triangle marker. There is another trap here. Another trap. There it is. 3 traps in total. Please make sure you dodge around them. And here we are at Stefan. Wonderful. We are going to assign some tanks to numbers. Let's have a quick look. So we're going to have Naimia, Sanguina, and Liliana. There we go. Perfect. And I'm going to assign some trapper tanks. This is a perfectly acceptable newbie duty to be doing, so please do not panic if you see a marker above your head in a short moment. Let's have a look here. Lennart, you are going to be number 2. Evade can be number 3. And let's have a look. Jake. Oh, okay, we've assigned number 4 to Yoru. Perfect. Indeed. No, nothing to be terrified with here. This is a really cool fight, to be honest. All right, so here we are, and I'm just going to run the command in DRS run chat. DRS Stiggy Malak, DRS Steve. There we go. You hear Zurich Leuten. Well, Selena's in the other chat. Okay, so here we are at Steve. Steve is a complex but simple boss. He does a lot of mechanics that are very easy, but one mistake and they will kill you. Now, when we pull Steve, we don't need to use our burst. We don't need to use our big openers, because when he gets to 70%, he will disappear and he will summon 4 adds. These 4 adds will be kited by the tanks, and the 4 kiting tanks are marked with 1, 2, 3, and 4. It's myself, Sanguina, Naimia, and Liliana. We know what we're doing. We are going to kite the Minotaurs around the arena in a clockwise fashion. Okay, I will be starting at number 3, and let's say, for instance, Naimia will be starting at the number 4. We'll pick up our Minotaurs and start kiting clockwise. Now, trapper tanks. Trapper tanks are the ones marked with the bind and the ignore markers. Okay? So the bind markers, what will happen is you will go to the numbers that are above your heads. So Ray has number 1, bind 1. You will please start at the number 1 marker on the other end of the arena. Okay? Lennart, you are number 2. You will start on the number 2 marker on the right of the arena. And Avate is number 3. You will start at number 3. When you go to your markers, when the adds appear, you need to stay at your marker until the traps appear. The traps will be very obvious when they appear, but when they appear, what you need to do is activate Sprint, and you'll also need to activate your invulnerability skill, your Hollowed Ground, your Holmgang, etc., etc. You will then sprint clockwise. So, for instance, if you are number 1, you will sprint between 1 and 2 clockwise around the arena. This will deactivate a trap. You will need a full heal and an Asuna from your tank, please. Okay? So healers, please make sure that you are ready to heal and Asuna your tanks. Okay. Now, the people that have binds above their heads, can you please write in Yell chat where you are trapping from and to? The example I gave was Ray was trapping between 1 and 2. You'll be kiting, you'll be trapping clockwise. So just write in Yell chat. Perfect. That is an amazing example. 2 to 3. That's all we need. Ray is 1 to 2. And I believe the last person is Ave, and I think they are in the German group, so we'll see that soon. And Yoru is in the German voice. Okay, now let me explain this fight a little bit more in depth for absolutely everybody. So when we pull the boss, we need to get into 70%, and then the adds will spawn. When the adds spawn, most of the arena will become unsafe, and only 2 rings will be safe. You can see the ring that I'm currently walking on. This is the outside ring, and there is another ring that is close to the boss, which is the inside ring. All of the DPS will go to the number 3. The tanks with numbers above their heads will go to the numbered markers that they are assigned. And the kiting tanks with numbers above their heads will begin kiting the Minotaurs clockwise. The trapping tanks will stay at their numbers until the traps spawn. Healers, you will go to the inside ring, the one closest to the middle of the arena. You have some special jobs to do later on. All of the DPS can go to the number 3 and wait at number 3 for the number 3 Minotaur to be brought towards you, and then you kill it as it passes you. Okay? So we kill the Minotaurs as they pass in front of you clockwise. There'll be some mechanics. There'll be push-pull mechanics. There'll be hiding the notch mechanics. There'll be orange at your feet, and I'll explain those now. The biggest one to look out for is the push and pull mechanic. You can see 2 big debuffs in the DRS run chat. Twice during the fight, the boss will give you one of 2 debuffs, either the push or the pull. You can see the notches that me and Hitchu are currently standing in. You can see that this one is an inside notch that I'm currently jumping in. If you get the push mechanic, you need to stand in the inside notch anywhere on the ring, and it will push you away from the middle towards the outside notch. If you get the pull debuff, you need to stand on the outside notch. The boss will pull you towards him, and you will land in the inside notch. Okay? If you don't use the notches correctly, you will get pushed and pulled into the wall, which is an instant kill. Please keep that in mind. The way I like to think about it is the pull debuff is the boss slurping noodles, and he's slurping you towards him, and he's in the middle. So I know that that's out. Very important that you remember those debuffs. If there is a lightning ring going across the rings, you can go and stand in any of the notches. It doesn't matter which one you stand in. Just hide from the electric ring. And there'll be some orange underneath your feet. So keep dodging those. Healers, as well as dealing with push and pull, lightning rings, and AoEs underneath your feet, you have 2 extra things to deal with in the inside ring. Okay? Healers, you will need to deal with 2 types of spheres. First, the fire spheres. They are the reflect orbs that are from Queensguard, but they are just fire orbs. You activate a light curtain and then go and stand underneath it to reflect the damage back at it. Then there is a second type of orb called an earth orb. Healers, you can now slot away Banish, and you can equip Lost Dispel instead. Okay? So healers, you should have Lost Arise and Lost Dispel. The Earth Orb needs to be targeted. You cast Dispel on it, and then you attack it once, and it will disappear instantly. These orbs will continuously spawn throughout the whole of the raid, so make sure to reflect the fire orbs and dispel the earth orbs. Please only deal with 1 orb at a time. Do not try to do both of them. After that, there'll be, once we've dealt with all 4 of the Minotaurs, because they've all been damaged down, the boss will respawn. There'll be some tank busters, raid-wide proximity markers, and there will be some puddles that you need to drop on the edge of the arena. One thing that's very, very important as well is that you need to know where your anti-knockback skill is. That is one of those 2 skills I've just put in the shout chat, so arm's length or shortcast. There is a knockback mechanic in this fight, and if you get knocked too far, you'll get knocked into one of the cleaves, and you'll get hit by his big whacks. Okay, I think that pretty much covers everything. The kiting tanks know what they're doing, and all of the trapper tanks know what they're doing by the looks of it. 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and Yoru is experienced, so I know he's good. Let's do ready checks in all groups. If you have any questions, please hit no. I just had noodles before we started. I had some bulldog for lunch today. Is Vega outside your window right now? Hello, I'm in your ears. Noodle walk, nice. I like reading chat afterwards. So our explanations finished exactly the same time as the German ones. Really, really interesting to see. So golems 1, 2, and 3 ready. Slimes 1, 2, and 3 ready. Countdown is incoming. Please get ready. 30 seconds. Cure forecasters, you can use Cure 4. Give everybody a bravery in your party, please. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't forget your cure force. And just remember, you don't need to use your full burst. Tank Busters coming up first. And the kiting tanks can pop their tank stances on, that's fine. Get ready to use your anti-knockback. Anti-knockback now. Surecast, arm's length. Get close to the Lord. And we're going to dodge the quacks. Quack. Quack. And third quack. Tanks, you can go to your positions. 1 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3, 4 to 4. DPS to 3. Healers in the inner ring, please. Alright, we're going to start kiting the Minotaurs clockwise, please. You can kill the one on south. Oops, I got hit by accident. And everybody make sure you go to a notch. Everybody in a notch. Hide from the traps. Everybody in a notch. Tanks, activate your invuln, sprint, and sprint clockwise. Healers, get ready to heal your tanks. Okay, look at your debuffs and resolve your debuff. Push and pull. Resolve your debuff now. Resolve your debuff now. Okay, back on the bosses as they pass us. Healers, you're doing a great job in the middle with the fire and earth orbs. Hide in the notches. Hide in any notch. Hide in any notch. Okay, and carry on killing these guys. Dodge the orange. Dodge the orange. Keep dodging the orange. So much orange. We're down to the last Minotaur. Some amazing DPS here. You're going to get given a debuff, but we're not going to resolve it straight away. We're going to hide in the notches. Hide in the notches. Hide, hide, hide. Make sure to deal with the fire orb, please. Keep away from the fire orb. Keep away. Alright. Okay, and back on the boss. There will be a raid wide next. If you get a purple bolt underneath your feet, please take it to the edge of the arena and then come back. Purple bolts to the edge of the arena, drop them and then come back. Okay, next will be a big swing, so you can already move away from the boss. Max casting range. Max casting range is safe. Back close to the boss. We're going to be going into the middle of the arena. And if you get a bolt puddle, take it to the edge. Everybody underneath the boss in the middle, please. Second set of bolts, take them out. Everybody else underneath the boss. We're going to be moving away from the proximity. Move away from the procs. And we're going to kill him. Wonderful. Great job, everybody. Some amazing DPS today. Please do not forget your loot. Please do not forget your loot. And onwards we go to Queen. The final battle. We are almost there. You almost have your mounts. Please do feel free to watch the cutscene. It is the same as the one in normal mode, but do feel free to watch it. All right. We do have some castable re-razors to give out. If you don't have a re-razor and you do not have one in your holster, please go and stand on Bravo. We will supply you with one. But only if you don't have one active and don't have one in your holster. Please stand on Bravo. Again, if you need a re-razor, you don't have one, please go and stand on Bravo. Only if you don't have one. If you've got one, please carry on to the front. Are we looking okay? Looking all right. Look at that. Team of professionals. I do see one person, actually. They've just equipped one, so that's fine. Fully equipped professionals. Look at that. All right. The target for this fight, the physical, is Cheche. So if you want physical excellence, please feel free to grab that off her. And in the DRS run chat, there are some images that are going to be very important for this fight. So as we are explaining, please make sure to be looking in Discord for those images. Fantastic. All right, so here we are at Queen. Queen is the final fight. After this, you will receive your mount. And there are some mechanics in this fight. It is a mixture of mechanics you've seen in normal mode, some mechanics you've seen in Queen's Guard, and there will be some extra new mechanics which we will explain in depth. Okay, so let's talk about what we'll actually see from when we pull her. Just like in Trinity Avowed, we will need an ether shield on every single raid wide, please. The raid wides here are called Empyrean Iniquity and God Save the Queen. So Empyrean Iniquity and God Save the Queen. Second thing that's super important is after she casts God Save the Queen later on, she will get a gauge that appears on your screen and it goes all the way up to 100. When it reaches 100, you'll hear a very audible ding and then she will summon some lightning spheres all over the arena. The best way to dodge the lightning spheres is to activate a light curtain, okay? Everybody inside their holster should have at least 2 light curtains for this fight. And when the gauge reaches 100, everybody activates a light curtain, and then we reflect the damage of the electric orbs back, therefore killing it. Okay? During this time as well, you will also need to use some dispels on the Queen. Prioritize getting your light curtains up first, and then healers, please use dispel on the Queen. We need to remove 4 buffs in total. Okay? So that's one of the new mechanics that we'll see. Northwine Glow is a mechanic you've seen in normal mode. It's when the 3 yellow lines appear. When they intersect, they will make 3/4 of the arena unsafe, but only in one direction is safe. I'll call out which direction is safe, north, east, south, or west. We'll go towards that direction. And then we'll also need to... sorry, no, I won't explain that. So that's the same as normal mode. And then that mechanic is also used in Murder Chess. Now, Murder Chess is the first mechanic we'll see. There will be some guards that appear on the edge of the arena. They will move into the arena a required amount of steps. We'll see the Northwine Glow go off, so only one side will be safe. We'll also need to dodge the Queen's Guard that are stepping into the arena on the side of the arena that is safe. And we will need to dodge twice. I'll use the waymarks to call out exactly which area is safe, but if needed, you can follow me. I do have the number 2 marker above my head. We need to dodge twice. Okay. There are some Relentless Play mechanics in this fight as well, and the Relentless Plays are mechanics that you have seen in Queen's Guard. Relentless Play 1 is a lot of mechanics to handle at once. Relentless Play 1, we have to wait for the safe side of the arena, so that's Northwine Glow. Some people will receive tethers, some people won't. If you receive tether, you'll be going to a wind puddle on the safe side. If you didn't, you'll be going to the lightning puddle. You then need to point your open side to the gunner, who is untargetable and in the northwest of the arena on the number 1 marker. So point your open side at 1. Once he jumps and does his AoE, you then need to point your open side to a turret on the side of the arena. Okay? So open side to the number 1, and then open side to a turret on the side. Relentless Play 2 is a knockback with the Queen cleaving 3/5 of the arena. We'll stand in one specific spot and get knocked back to one specific spot that I will call out. We'll then dodge a second Queen cleave and move into another safe spot after that. Relentless Play 3, the Knight will teleport to a random player. So we will all stack up on one location. Okay? And then what will happen is the Knight will teleport to us and it will be an in or out mechanic. If it's in, we stay close to the Knight in the direction it's not cleaving. And if it's out, we go far away from the Knight in the direction it's not cleaving. We'll also dodge some turrets that appear on the arena. There'll be 4 lasers, so we dodge those. Relentless Play 4 is a knockback, along with bombs and fire or ice that we have seen in Queensguard. I'll now explain Super Chess. Okay? Now, Super Chess is quite a big mechanic, but we will simplify it for you. What will happen during Super Chess is the boss will disappear and she will summon a safe spot. The safe spot will be on either A or C. I'll call out what that safe spot is. You need to then point your camera at that safe spot. The safe spot will be a blue square on the arena. Make sure to move your characters. Don't get kicked from the instance at the last fight. That would be dramatic. So please move your characters. Okay, so the safe spot will be there. Point your camera at the safe spot. That is your brand new north. We will be playing on the left-hand side of the arena. You will receive 2 numbered debuffs. Okay, the numbered debuffs are the Roman number of debuffs that you can see in the Discord run chat. Okay, so it will either be 2, 3, or 4, and you will receive 2 of them. What you need to do is add them together. They will equal, when you add them together, either 5, 6, or 7. Okay, so if you get the 2 and the 3, they equal 5. If you get the 3 and the 4, they equal 7. If you get the 2 and the 4, they equal 6. Add them together and figure out what they equal. I will then tell you where to stand. Okay? This is your starting position for Super Chess. I will call it out live when it happens. For instance, I may call 7s below 4. And if A is the safe spot, you can see that below 4 is where I'm currently jumping. Okay? So I may call 7s below 4, 6 in the corner, and then 5 below delta. Okay? So for instance, 7 below 4, 6 in the corner, 5 below delta. That is an example call out. That is your starting position for Super Chess. I will then call out which column we're playing in, so either D or 4. What you'll then need to do is move towards that column and then move down it until the number above your head disappears. Okay? So when the number above your head disappears, you can stop moving. If you get the doom marker above your head, please move back 1 time. Super Chess is resolved in 2 movements. Okay? So we move to remove the first number above our head. We stop when it disappears. We wait for the guards to come into the arena and cleave, where most of us will be safe. After that, every single person will move to the safe spot. Okay? Even if standing in the safe spot kills you, please move to the safe spot. Very important. So TLDR, find the safe spot, point your camera at it. That is your new north. Add your 2 numbers together and start where I tell you. An example call out is 7 below 4, 6 in the corner, 5 below D. We then move in the D column. I'll call out move in the D column until the number above your head disappears, and then we stop. If you get doom, move back. You'll get stunned, and then the guards will move, and then everybody goes and stands in the safe spot. Very important. That should be the majority of Super Chess. We will probably see it twice. Okay, now for the tanks, again, Ether Shield on every raid wide, please. There is also a Tank Buster here that hits twice. The Tank Buster will require a tank swap afterwards because we use the invulnerability skill to cheese the mechanic. Okay? So the first tank will be Liliana, I will be the second tank, and Nymir will be the third. They already all know what they're doing, so there is no concerns there. That should be all of the mechanics. If you have any questions, hit no, but let's do ready checks. If you hit no, do ask your questions. So the raid wides are called Empyrean Iniquity and also God Save the Queen. I'll call out Ether Shields up, Ether Shields up. All right, everybody, let's get ready. Food reminder. Please make sure to use food. And the countdown is incoming now. Awesome. Food. Food is useful. Cure 4 casters. You can put Cure 4 on your party now. Please make sure to give everybody a bravery. And again, you can heal during raid wides. 3, 2, 1. Let's go and kill the queen. Alright. Ether shields up for the raid wide, please. Ether shields up for the raid wide. Cure 4 casters, you can heal up with Cure 4. And the first mechanic we'll see is Murder Chests. I'll call out which side of the arena we're going to first. Alright, let's wait. Okay, we're going to the right-hand side towards Bravo. We're going all the way to Bravo. All the way to Bravo. Nothing else is safe. Please stand on Bravo. Okay, and now we can stand on 2. 2 is safe. Alright, the first tank buster is coming up next. This hits twice. There is the first hit. And there is the second hit. And we're now going to have Ether Shields up for the raid wide, please. Ether Shields up for the raid wide. We are now going to be seeing our first super chest. Please get ready in the middle of the arena. When the queen disappears, find a safe spot. Point your camera at it. Okay. And the safe spot is on Alpha. Safe spot is on Alpha. Bottom is safe, left is safe. 7 below 4. 6 in the corner. And 5 start below 1. 7 below 4. 6 in the corner. 5 start below 1. 7 below 4, 6 in the corner. 5 start below 1. Alright, start moving down the delta column. When the number above your head disappears, stop moving. If you get doom, move back 1 tile. Alright, now everybody can move into the safe spot. Everybody into the safe spot on Alpha, please. Everybody on Alpha. Even if it kills you, please stand on Alpha. Perfect. Alright, I'm going to go back on the boss. If you've got any dead, please raise them now. The next thing we'll see will be a raid wide. You can put Ether Shields up now. Ether Shields up. Ether Shields up. Okay, now this is the mechanic that summons the gauge on your screen. Please use Cure 4 to heal up. There it is. When it reaches 100, we will be using light curtains. Get ready to use your light curtain. Okay, light curtains now. Light curtains now. Everybody activate a light curtain. And healers, please use Dispel on the queen. Okay, everybody inside the shell. Everybody inside the shell. Doesn't matter which one. Just pick one. Alright, perfect. Well done. Relentless Play 1 is up next. This is the open side under your feet. The gunner is at number 1. Check if you have a tether. If you have a tether, you'll be going to wind. And we'll be going towards the north of the arena. North of the arena. Tethered, please go to wind. Everybody else go to lightning. Open side to number 1. And now open side to a turret on the side. We're going to go back on the boss. There will be a tank buster in the middle of the arena. Okay, and tank number 3 will take over. All right, everybody in the middle of the arena. Let's Play 2 is a knockback. Along with a Queen Cleave. I've got the number 2 above my head. Feel free to follow me. She's going to disappear. Okay, and we are knocking back towards 4. Towards 4C. Sorry, it's a horrible, horrible safe spot. In the middle. And we're going towards D1. D1. Move towards D1. Okay. We're going back on the Queen. If you have any dead, please raise them. And we'll have Aether Shields up for the raid wide. Aether Shields up for the raid wide. Cure 4 casters, you can use Cure 4 to heal your party. And we'll see Super Chest 2 next. We will get Limit Break 3 after Super Chest 2, and we will get everybody up. Okay, and the safe spot is spawning. It's on A again. Left and bottom is not safe. So we are going to have 5 between 4 and 3, 6 on 3, and 7 on the edge. So 6 on 3, 5 to the left, 7 to the right. 6 on 3, 5 to the left, 7 to the right. We are playing in the 4 column. Do not play in Delta. We are playing in the 4 column, please. Play in the 4 column. When the number above your head disappears, stop moving. Nice. Great job, everybody. All right, and now we are moving into the A. Everybody moving to the A, even if it kills you. Everybody at A, even if it kills you. Once this mechanic is over, healers, please wait for Limit Break 3. And healers, please use your heal Limit Break 3. Get everybody up. We don't have everybody up yet, so we're not going to kill. And everybody's up. Everybody's up. Burn her down. We only have 1 person down. We'll get them up. Well done, everybody. Well done. We are done. We are done. We are done. I'm going to drop the way markers, and we do have 1 person still dead on the floor. So when they are done with the cutscene, please spam them with Rise. We'll make sure to get them up, make sure they can get their loot. The loot will contain a minion and also 1 guaranteed augmented chest. So make sure to pick those up. You'll get some fragments as well, which are super, super cool. Congratulations, everybody. That was a really good run. DPS today was exceptional. Everybody was listening, alert, and ready to go. And everybody's up. Perfect. All right, we can head to the back by the tree. We're going to get a group screenshot to commemorate the moment. We have quite a lot of people who have picked up some achievements, quite a lot of people who are picking up the mount for the first time. We're going to go sit on the steps and I'll do a quick count. So what we've got here, Radas, Liliana and Razor. Congratulations on 10 kills. That's an amazing achievement. In the Discord, you can pick up a new role, which changes the colour inside Discord for you. So give that a whirl. And we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 brand new clears today. So 11 new doggo owners. If it is your first clear with us today, when you get outside, please open up the achievements window. And the achievements window will have a brand new achievement at the top of it. You can click on that and claim your doggo mount from there. If you have any screenshots of you on the doggo mount or any screenshots from the run, please feel free to post them in DR chat. We love some images. The run chat does get nuked at the end of every run. So make sure to put them in DR chat where they live forever. When next DRS? Wow. I need to plan my next week. So we'll figure that out, won't we? We'll figure that out. And yeah, congratulations, everybody. Really, really good run. Super proud of absolutely everybody. If you've got friends who want their mount as well, do send them our way. We will happily take them through DRS to get their doggo mount. It's one of the only